Every single day, there are two versions of you, one that evolves and one that remains unchanged. The question is, which will you choose? Because ultimately, your toughest competition isn't out there. It's the person staring back at you in the mirror. The battle begins now. In this vast and complex world, your greatest rival is yourself. It's not about outperforming your neighbor, your colleague, or the influencers you follow online. It's about outdoing the person you were yesterday. Personal growth isn't a final destination. It's an ongoing journey. On this path, you play multiple roles: the traveler and the path, the sculptor and the stone, the farmer and the field. Each day offers a chance to enhance your strengths, eliminate your weaknesses, and take a step closer to becoming the person you aspire to be. You might be thinking, that sounds motivating, but how do I actually achieve it? Let's dive into some core principles to help you on this journey. First and foremost, you need a clear vision of who you want to become. You can't hit a target you can't see. So ask yourself, what does your best self look like? What habits define that version of you? What skills have you mastered? What impact do you make on the world around you? Envision this version of yourself in vivid detail until it feels almost tangible. However, here's the key. This vision isn't fixed. As you grow, your perception of your best self evolves. This is not only natural, but necessary. It reflects progress, an expansion of your ambitions, and a higher standard for what's possible. Once you've defined this vision, the next step is to break it down into actionable steps. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is your best self. It's constructed one decision, one action, and one day at a time. What's one small step you can take today to move closer to that vision? Perhaps it's reading 10 pages of a book that challenges your thinking. Maybe it's having a difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Or it could be as simple as lacing up your running shoes and hitting the pavement. Growth happens in the small, consistent actions you take each day. So will you choose the version of you that grows, or will you stay where you are and stepping out the door, even when every part of you craves the comfort of the couch? That's where true growth begins. Identify that action and take it. But here's the secret: consistency. Progress doesn't come from occasional giant leaps. It's the result of small, deliberate steps taken daily. It's about showing up for yourself, especially when motivation is low. Success isn't defined by what you do once in a while, but by what you do consistently. The small choices you make each day compound over time, leading to profound transformation. Now, let's talk about discipline. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and achievements. It's what gets you out of bed when you'd rather hit snooze. It keeps you focused when distractions tempt you. It empowers you to say no to things that don't align with your vision, even when they seem appealing. The truth about discipline is that it's like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. And as it strengthens, making the right choices becomes second nature. So how do you build discipline? Start small. Make promises to yourself and keep them. If you set your alarm for 6 a.m., get up when it rings. If you commit to working out 3 times a week, follow through. If you promise to read for 30 minutes daily, do it, even when you're tired. These small actions lay the foundation for habits that can transform your life. There's something crucial to address on this journey of self-improvement. Failure. Yes, failure. It's not something to avoid. It's one of your greatest teachers. As you strive to become a better version of yourself, you will stumble. You'll experience setbacks. Some days it will feel like you're taking 2 steps back for every step forward, and that's okay. It's part of the process. The key is how you respond. Do you let failure define you? Do you allow setbacks to stop you in your tracks? Or do you use them as fuel to push forward? Start viewing failure as feedback. It's not a measure of your worth. It's simply information that shows you what isn't working, bringing you closer to discovering what does. Remember Thomas Edison's famous words, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's the mindset you need. Every setback, disappointment, and challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger, build resilience, and improve. Let's talk about your environment. You've probably heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. There's truth in that. Your surroundings shape you more than you realize. So take a step back and evaluate, are you surrounded by people who inspire and challenge you to grow? Or are you stuck in an environment filled with negativity and complacency? If it's the latter, it might be time for some changes. This doesn't mean cutting people out of your life entirely, but you may need to limit your time with those who drain your energy and seek out those who uplift and motivate you. Find mentors. Connect with people who have achieved what you aspire to, read their books, listen to their podcasts, attend their seminars, and immerse yourself in the mindset and habits you want to adopt. One more thing, become a lifelong learner. The moment you stop learning is the moment you stop growing. And if you're not growing, you're stagnating. Commit to learning something new every day. It doesn't have to be something major. It could be a new word, a new skill, or a fresh perspective on something you thought you understood. Stay curious, ask questions, challenge your assumptions. Because knowledge isn't just power, it's potential power. But knowledge without action is meaningless. So, what's your next step? Will you keep waiting for the perfect moment that may never come, or will you take action today? The choice is yours, and the time is now. Knowledge alone isn't enough. It becomes truly valuable when you put it into practice. So don't just absorb information, apply it, experiment with it, and discover what works for you and what doesn't. Now let's talk about goals. Goals are the compass that guide you on your journey of self-improvement. They provide direction, purpose, and something to strive for. However, your goals need to be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Vague goals yield vague results. Instead of saying, I want to be healthier, aim for, I want to run a 5K in under 30 minutes by December 31st. Instead of saying, I want to be more successful, aim for, I want to increase my income by 20% within the next 12 months. Once you've set those goals, write them down. There's power in putting pen to paper. Makes your goals more tangible and real. Place them somewhere visible to serve as a daily reminder of what you're working toward. But remember, goals aren't set in stone. As you grow and evolve, your goals may shift, and that's perfectly fine. What truly matters is that you keep progressing and continuously strive to be better than you were yesterday. Next, let's address something often overlooked in self-improvement, rest and recovery. Becoming your best self doesn't mean pushing yourself to exhaustion. It's not about working 18-hour days at the expense of your health and relationships. Proper rest and recovery are essential for long-term growth. Your body and mind need time to recharge and integrate the lessons you've learned along the way. So prioritize sleep, make time for relaxation, engage in activities that bring you joy, spend quality time with loved ones. These aren't distractions from your journey, they're an essential part of it. Think of it this way. If you constantly drive a car at full throttle, the engine will burn out. But with regular maintenance and cool down periods, the car performs better and lasts longer. The same principle applies to you. Let's also talk about gratitude. At first, it might not seem directly connected to self-improvement, but it's a game changer. It's easy to become so focused on where you want to be that you forget to appreciate how far you've already come. Take time each day to reflect on what you're grateful for. It could be major things like your health or family, or simple moments like enjoying a great cup of coffee or witnessing a beautiful sunset. This practice serves two powerful purposes. First, it shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you create a stronger foundation for growth. Second, it helps you recognize the progress you've made. It's easy to fixate on how much further you need to go, but acknowledging your achievements can be incredibly motivating. Now let's address a common struggle, comparison. In today's world of social media and constant connectivity, it's easier than ever to compare yourself to others. But that's a dangerous trap. The only person you need to outdo is the person you were yesterday. Your journey is unique, and your challenges, strengths, and weaknesses are your own. So why measure yourself against someone else's standard? When you catch yourself falling into the comparison trap, remind yourself of this. Behind every success story you see, there are countless hours of hard work, failures, and setbacks that you don't see. You're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel instead of comparing yourself to others. Focus on your own progress. Compare who you are today to who you were last month or last year. That's the only comparison that truly matters and the one that will push you forward instead of holding you back. Let's explore the power of habits. Your current life is the result of your daily habits. Your physical health, happiness, and success stem directly from the routines you follow. What you repeatedly do shapes your identity, beliefs, and personality. The good news is that just as habits are formed through repetition, they can also be altered the same way. If you aim to improve, focus on your habits, identify the ones that hold you back, and replace them with those that will push you forward. Remember, you don't achieve success by setting lofty goals. You succeed by building effective systems. Your daily habits form that system. Start small. Want to read more? Begin with 10 pages a day. Want to improve your fitness? Commit to 10 minutes of exercise daily. Want to eat healthier? Add 1 serving of vegetables to your meals. These minor changes may seem trivial, but small habits compounded over time lead to significant transformation. Next, let's discuss self-talk. The way you speak to yourself greatly influences your growth and progress. Your mind believes what you tell it repeatedly. If you constantly think, "I'm not good enough," or "I can't do this," your mind will accept that as truth. Conversely, if you encourage yourself, acknowledge your strengths, and focus on your potential, your mind will embrace that as well, propelling you forward. Be mindful of your internal dialogue. When negative thoughts arise, challenge them. Replace "I can't do this" with "I can do this yet, but I'm learning and improving." Swap "I'm not good enough" with "I'm growing and getting better every day." This approach isn't about ignoring areas that need improvement, but fostering a mindset of possibility rather than limitation. Become your own biggest supporter instead of your harshest critic. Now, let's emphasize the importance of taking action. Knowledge without action is like an unopened book, full of potential, but ultimately useless. You can read every self-improvement book, attend every seminar, and listen to every podcast, but without action, nothing changes. Many people fall into analysis paralysis, overthinking every step instead of making progress. Follow through on your commitments. If you promise to work out 3 times a week, do it, even when you're not in the mood. If you pledge to read for 30 minutes a day, stick to it, even when you're tired. These small actions are the building blocks of your character and establish the habits that will transform your life. Lastly, let's address failure. It's not a setback, but one of your greatest teachers. On the journey to becoming your best self, you will stumble and experience days when progress feels slow, as if you're taking 2 steps back for every step forward. And that's okay. It's part of the process. What truly matters is how you respond to setbacks. Do you allow them to define you and halt your progress, or do you use them as fuel to keep moving forward? Embrace failure as feedback, not as a measure of your worth. It tells you what isn't working and brings you closer to discovering what does. Every challenge, disappointment, and stumble is an opportunity to grow stronger, build resilience, and improve. To push forward, start viewing failure as feedback. It doesn't define your worth, but simply highlights what isn't working, bringing you closer to what will. Thomas Edison, in his quest to invent the light bulb, famously stated, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This is the mindset you need to embrace. Every setback, obstacle, and disappointment is a lesson, an opportunity to grow stronger, build resilience, and improve. Now, let's talk about your environment. You've likely heard the saying, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." There's truth to that. Your surroundings shape you more than you realize. So assess your circle. Are you surrounded by individuals who inspire and challenge you to grow? Or are you stuck in a negative environment filled with complacency and mediocrity? If it's the latter, consider making adjustments. This doesn't mean cutting people off entirely, but rather limiting your exposure to those who drain your energy. Seek out mentors, connect with those who have achieved what you aspire to, read their books, listen to their podcasts, and attend their seminars. Immerse yourself in the mindset and habits you want to adopt. Another key element of self-improvement is lifelong learning. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. And if you're not growing, you're stagnating. Commit to learning something new every day. It doesn't have to be monumental, a new word, a skill, or a fresh perspective on something you thought you understood. Stay curious, ask questions, and challenge your assumptions. Knowledge alone isn't power. Applied knowledge is. Only when you put what you've learned into action does it become valuable. So don't just consume information, use it, test it, and find what works for you. Now let's focus on goals. Goals act as your compass on this journey of self-improvement. They provide direction, purpose, and motivation. However, for goals to be effective, they must be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Vague goals lead to vague results. Instead of saying, "I want to be healthier," aim for, "I want to run a 5K in under 30 minutes by December 31st. Instead of, "I want to be more successful," say, "I want to increase my income by 20% within the next 12 months. Once you've set your goals, write them down. There's power in putting pen to paper. It makes your goals tangible and real. Place them somewhere visible as a constant reminder of what you're working toward. But remember, goals aren't set in stone. As you grow, your goals may need to evolve, and that's perfectly fine. The key is to keep progressing and striving to be better than you were yesterday. Lastly, let's touch on something often overlooked in self-improvement: rest and recovery. Becoming a better version of yourself doesn't mean pushing yourself to exhaustion. It's not about working 18-hour days at the cost of your health and relationships. Sustainable progress requires balance. Your body and mind need time to recharge, process, and integrate the lessons you've learned. Prioritize sleep, make time for relaxation, and engage in activities that bring you joy. Spend quality time with loved ones. These aren't distractions from self-improvement, they're essential components of it. Think of it this way: if you push a car at full throttle without maintenance, the engine will eventually burn out. But with regular care and cool-down periods, it will perform better and last longer. The same applies to you. Prioritize rest to fuel your long-term growth and success. Relaxation and engaging in joyful activities, along with spending quality time with loved ones, are not distractions but vital elements of self-improvement. Picture yourself as a high-performance car. If you push it to its limit without proper care, the engine will eventually burn out. However, with regular maintenance and strategic brakes, it performs optimally and lasts longer. The same principle applies to you. Now, let's dive into gratitude. It may not seem directly linked to self-improvement, but it's a game changer. When you're solely focused on your future goals, you risk neglecting how far you've already progressed. Take a moment each day to reflect on what you're grateful for, whether it's your health, family, a meaningful conversation, or a stunning sunset. Recognizing these moments shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance, which not only sets the stage for further growth, but also boosts your motivation by acknowledging the progress you've made. Another common challenge on the path to self-improvement is comparison. In today's world dominated by social media, it's easy to measure yourself against others. However, that's a losing game. The only person you should aim to surpass is your past self. Every success story is built on unseen struggles, hard work, and failures that aren't shared online. When you compare yourself to others, you're evaluating your behind the scenes against their highlight reel. Instead, assess your growth from last week, last month, or last year. That's the only comparison that truly matters. Let's talk about the power of habits. Your current reality is largely shaped by your daily routines, from your fitness and happiness to your success. The good news? Habits can be changed. Identify those that hold you back and replace them with ones that propel you forward. Remember, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Your habits are your system. Start small. Want to read more? Begin with 10 pages a day. Looking to get in shape? Commit to 10 minutes of exercise. Want to eat healthier? Add 1 serving of vegetables to your meals. Small, consistent changes compound over time, leading to significant transformation. Another crucial aspect of self-improvement is self-talk. The way you communicate with yourself directly impacts your ability to grow. Your mind believes what you repeatedly tell it. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough or incapable, your mind will accept that as truth. However, if you practice self-encouragement and focus on growth, that belief will propel you forward. Replace negative thoughts with constructive ones. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," try, "I can't do this yet, but I'm learning and improving." Instead of, "I'm not good enough," remind yourself, "I'm getting better every day." This approach isn't about ignoring areas for improvement, but about fostering a growth-oriented mindset. Adopt a mindset of possibility rather than limitation. Be your biggest supporter, not your harshest critic. Now, let's talk about the importance of taking action. Knowledge without action is like an unopened book, full of potential but ultimately useless. You can read every self-improvement book, attend countless seminars, and listen to endless podcasts, but without action, nothing changes. Many people fall into the trap of overanalyzing and waiting for the perfect moment. But the truth is, there is no perfect moment. The best time to start is now. Take imperfect action because even a small step forward is better than standing still. Finally, be patient. Lasting change takes time. Trust the process, stay consistent, and keep moving forward. With persistence, success becomes inevitable. The way you perceive and react to life's events is shaped by your mindset. When it comes to self-improvement, having the right mindset is essential. What you need is a growth mindset, the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. This contrasts with a fixed mindset, which assumes that your qualities are set in stone and cannot change. With a growth mindset, you embrace challenges rather than avoid them, persist through setbacks instead of giving up, View effort as the path to mastery rather than seeing it as pointless. Learn from criticism instead of ignoring it, and find inspiration in the success of others rather than feeling threatened. This mindset is key to continuous self-improvement as it allows for limitless growth and development. As we conclude, I want to emphasize an important truth. Becoming better than you were yesterday isn't about perfection, but progress. It's about consistently moving forward, even if the steps are small. Remember, you're not competing with anyone else. Your only competition is the person you were yesterday. Every day that you make even the slightest improvement, you're winning that competition. Self-improvement is not always a smooth journey. There will be times when you feel like you're making progress only to face setbacks. There will be moments of frustration, discouragement, and even the temptation to give up. But remember, those challenges, setbacks, and doubts are all part of the process. They make you stronger, more resilient, and more capable. So, embrace the journey, embrace the challenges, embrace the growth. Wake up each day with the determination to be just a little better than you were the day before. Understand this, it's not about making drastic changes overnight. It's about small, consistent improvements day after day, week after week, year after year. Year after year, those small improvements, when compounded over time, lead to remarkable results. Ladies and gentlemen, you already possess everything necessary to become the best version of yourself. You have the power to shape your life, overcome obstacles, and achieve your dreams. But it all begins with one decision. The decision to commit to your own growth and improvement. The decision to be better than you were yesterday. So I challenge you, make that decision today. Start now. Take that first step, then the next one. Keep moving forward, keep evolving, and keep improving. Because ultimately, it's you against yourself, and I believe in you. In the end, it's not about being the best. It's about becoming better than you were yesterday, stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. Every moment presents an opportunity to grow, and every choice is a chance to improve. The only question is, will you seize it? In this journey, there is no competition with the world. The true challenge has always been within yourself. So step forward, push past your limits, and commit to the path of progress. Not someday, not when the timing feels perfect, but right now. Be better than yesterday. If this message resonates with you, don't just reflect on it, act on it. Set a goal, take that first step, and dedicate yourself to personal growth. And if you're ready to keep pushing forward, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more empowering content. Remember, it's you versus you.